Okay, legends. This is a really quick, brief review I'm gonna do. I've got levels marked out on here from previous charts, so I'm not gonna redraw them. So I just want to quickly go over some of them. So I spoke about in my last video where this block here, the candle that led to the move up to take out stops, was acting as resistance at the time here. And earlier on, I ideally wanted dollar to go higher. Reason for that is because I was expecting retracements on the majors, right? But things have now sort of changed, so I've got to go with the flow. I said if this holds, then I want to see these lows break, ideally this, then I'd be on for bearish and lower prices. So far, it's failed to go above there. We've run up, taken out these stops here and pushed down. So that for me is the hand tipped for market to go lower now. Okay, so we've come in, we've tested this breaker here earlier, and then today we run up into the body of this H4 block here, confluence that with this, and 50% of this range of this block candle, bearish candle or breaker here, and we've sold off. So yeah, so now I'm more inclined to, a higher probability for me would be to sell the dollar, which means buy the majors. Okay, so next price obviously is the 95.43. Another thing is, if you look on the daily, see this low here, right, from November. I think this is the Trump, when the elections were US elections, called this wick, spiked up. Okay, we're getting below this low, and we're starting to like move deeper now into this accumulation I've talked about here, right? So the big stops for me are going to be resting, and once this gives in, I believe we're going to come to this low here. Okay, so I'm just going to mark this out for future reference. Okay, so what's the low here? Comes in at 94.07. So yeah, 94.07. This is where the stops are going to be resting for me. Once we get more, if we get more bullish momentum, then we're going to take out this accumulation level here. Okay, so as it stands, I am bearish the dollar unless we get back above this breaker here. I'm bearish the dollar. How do I get on board? Okay, so let's talk about that now. I want a retracement, but the question is, how deep of a retracement can we really get? Ideal scenario would be if we came into here, right? This was acting support here, support broke through. Ideal scenario so would be to push up into here and then sell off, right? That would be the ideal. We could see resistance here, so I mean there's a few areas I could say, well, it could come into here or could come into there. Fuck that shit. I've got my level marked out, right? So if we go into the lower time frame, I've got this marked out here, right? That is in confluence with the November low. So I'll mark this out, what the November low on the H4, November low here. So if we come up into here, right, ideally, yes, it could push up into there, and the way market is looking, I'm not going to say, oh, this exact level. I don't work like that with exact levels. What I wait for is the session time, right? London session, New York session to open. That's when ideally when I'm looking to take a trade. And when that opens, then I start hunting my setups. Okay, so I'll have a key level, I'll have 2 or 3 key levels marked out. It doesn't make a difference to me, but what I want to see is a stop rate into that level and then that breakdown. When I get that breakdown, I get on retests. So at the time we could run up, it could come up into here and take out these stops here, run up into there and then break down. If it breaks down on the lower time frame, then I know the high is in. It could run up into there. If it runs up into there, causes has a stop rate and runs up into there, then breaks down, then this is the level I believe that's going to be the high. So I'll be waiting. All I need to know is where is the market most likely to go. I'm not bothered too much about which exact level I'm going to get in at. That's not hard. It's, I think, when you work backwards and know exactly where the market wants to go, then the other side, if we take out this level and reject, then I'm gonna have to stay on the sidelines. So for now, the main good thing I've got so far from this week is more likely the dollar is gonna go lower. Now, how do the majors support that? So let's flip over to the euro. Now the euro lifted off. I mean, ideally, if I was gonna buy the euro, I want it to come down into here. Sorry, this here, 4-hour block here. It didn't, so I'm thinking, where is it pivoting off from? It didn't even come into here. I would have wanted at least to come into previous resistance, turn support. It didn't do that. It just shows me the market is strong, and it doesn't give a fuck about what others are thinking or support levels they got marked out. It just wants to lift off. So after the fact, I'm able to see, okay, once the big move has happened, where did it take off from? came up from here, right? So this was this block here, resistance, resistance, broke down, pivoted over again, support, support, support. Now, to be honest with you, I wasn't expecting this to hold, and the way this is looking, I would have ideally liked a stop rate lower into this level, but it didn't. So I did not have a euro long entry. I did have a euro GBP entry, but I didn't take it at the time. Today I didn't. I wasn't in the mood. My head wasn't in the market today. It's one of those days where I was just lazy and didn't want to trade too much. I had a decent trade in the New Zealand dollar short, and that's all I had. So going forward, how can I get on board this? So I'm looking at this area here, right? I'm looking at all this here, this block here, support. This provided as resistance. I'm assuming it to provide support now. So when the euro comes here, right, I'll go back to the dollar and see where the dollar is at the same time. So that's how I filter down key support levels. You know, this is why I don't have an exact level. Sometimes I have a clear block or a level. Yes, if it goes into it, then I'm going to show. But sometimes if it's not too clear and I've got 2-3 different levels that's I think it could come off of, then I'll wait. So like I said, I know where the dollar wants to go. So I've marked out my area for the euro. If I get euro coming to here, then I'll wait for my bullish price action. So for example, if this was here, if I wanted to come down, I want it to prove to me that it wants to go higher. Buyers have stepped in, and then I'm happy to go on board. And then I believe 1.16, we're gonna get that. That would be my target, 1.1615, 1.1615, and then higher. Okay, that's what I think is gonna happen with the euro. Overall, because of euro GBP, I think we're gonna go a lot higher on the euro. Earlier in the day, in the week actually, I had this area marked out here. I just didn't take this long. My head wasn't in there. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna make excuses. Oh, I could have taken it long. I just didn't. My mind wasn't. I wasn't focused today. It was a nice trade to have taken long, but I wasn't in it. And then I also spoke about this with some of the private guys, where if euro GBP broke this level here, then I'll be getting long. And even I watched this, and I watched market. As soon as it was getting above this highs here, I thought, okay, we're on. I could have got long here on a retest of here, tight stop. I didn't. No excuses. I just wasn't in the zone to trade today. There'll be plenty more opportunities, so I'm not bothered. The good thing I take from it is market did as I expected to. So even if I'm not in a trade, but market does as I expected to, that's just great for me. So I'm not sure if we can get retested. I mean, we can, but it is looking really strong to me on a weekly basis. You know, we're above the weekly open. Boom, we're going higher. I think next target's going to be here. And I've had a yearly chart where I think euro GBP is going to go. Let me see if I've still got it. It's on my trading view anyway. If you go to my trading view, yeah, see, I had this marked out here previously. So if the euro GBP came into here, then I'd long it, but you know, I didn't do as I say. I'm trying to find my yearly chart for euro GBP, and I don't think I can find it. But it doesn't matter. If you go to my trading view, Trade AZ, you'll find it. Much higher targets for euro GBP, much higher targets, which makes me want to long euro instead of cable. Doesn't mean cable can't go up either, but I would much prefer to long the euro. Yep. Okay. So that's euro covered. If I get a move into here, bullish price action, and let's see where the dollar is at the time, then I'll look to long that. We do have Yellen tomorrow, so you know when these Fed speakers or some fucking news like that, you always get some wild spikes. I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm hoping this is just a one-way move up, but we'll have to see. Okay, that's that done. Cable. Now cable, I've got a couple of scenarios marked out. So earlier in the week in the review video, I said if it comes to this daily block here, I look for a sell. You know, I didn't take it. Like I said, if euro GBP comes into that support level as marked out, and cable came into the resistance, there's a high probability chance it's going to go down. Cable just didn't give me the entry. Maybe I was trying to refine it too much. I was trying to look for too much of a perfect entry, and then it went off without me. It is what it is. I'm not bothered. There'll be more setups. Now there's a few scenarios I've got on cable, right? So I'll have to it's, for me it's not the clearest pair to trade at the moment. So one scenario is for it to run up possibly into here, because these bearish candles were the ones that led to the stop rate. So if we move into there and we get a stop if we move into here we get a breakdown, then I think we could go lower, take out these stops into this daily block here, right? Because this is the support level here, I mean, resistance and support, okay, here. But another scenario is, what if it's already bottomed, okay? And I'll explain why as well. So let's mark out this, right? This was the last bearish candle before the move up, okay? This one here, okay? Now look carefully, right? Look at the price action leading to this. If we had inefficiency or thin movement below this, then for me there would be a high probability for this to go lower, okay? So look at this movement up. It's been efficient, it's been well traded. The only gap that was in the market was this, okay? Here it's all efficient. The only thin price action here would be here, but if we got to here, then I think we're gonna go much lower. But the way dollar is looking, right, there's no reason why this can't be the bottom. So going into London Open, what I'd be looking for is, assuming that is the low, okay, something like this. If this gives in, then I'll be looking for it there, move above this again. Let's see if we depending on how the price action is here, there could be a block here, but as it stands here, if you find support here, because there's buying here previously, there's no reason why they can't be buying again here. If it shows a willingness to go up, breaks a high here that's formed, and then a retest, I think the bottom could be in and we're going much higher, okay? That's another scenario. So I'm prepared to take all scenarios, okay? So I'll have them all marked out. The only reason I'd say they would want to take cable down is for push Euro GBP higher, but it doesn't mean Euro and cable can't go together up. But I think if they're gonna do that, it's gonna be made to push Euro GBP higher and just to take out more stops. So another scenario that would look like this was here. If we look here, see when it left this gap here, it came down, took out the gap, cleared the gap, and obviously it came into here, that block here. So this down move could be only to fill this in, and it's done that now. So it'd be interesting to see how this unfolds. I mean, I've got still got a target 130.50 and then 130, 160. So I'm not bothered. I'm happy to miss 50 points, you know, 100 points, just to confirm to me the low is in. If the low is in, yeah, another thing that would confirm to me would be a move above these highs here, right? So a move above here would definitely confirm to me the low is in. That would be for sure. Retest and then up and away, okay? But if I'm going to be more risky and try to get in on the low, I'll be watching this carefully, right? The way I used to trade before was I would just go with small size here, stop there just to test it out, but I'm not into that anymore. I'm gonna wait, okay? So ideal scenario would be to come into there, show weakness. Then I think if it shows weakness, then we could make another low, run lower on these stops. But the way dollar is looking, right, this could already be the low in, unless he wants to go lower. But so I know it's gonna sound that well, I'm marking out loads of scenarios, but this is how it's looking at the moment. So if it's not really clear to me, I'll just wait for the clarity, but I'm just explaining the different scenarios I've got in mind, okay? So one scenario is, like I said, take out these stops there into this daily block here. Another scenario is, well, we've already made the low, so either way, just wait for confirmation. It doesn't matter. I'm not in the game of picking a top, picking a bottom. If it comes to the level I wanted to, let it prove to me that the level is gonna hold or not hold. So if I think this is gonna be the low, let it prove to me. The way it proves to me is if it moves up back through here, then this is probably the low, and then I'll look for retest and get back in, okay? So I'm not trying to mark out 50 scenarios, I'm just saying if this is the low, let it prove to me. or if that's not the low, then let it prove to me could be the low, or that could be low. It doesn't matter. Let market prove to you, then step in. Okay. That's that done. New Zealand dollar, I was heavily short this week. I mean, the way the dollar is looking to me, I'm going to struggle to short this. If dollar is going to continue going lower, then I'm going to really struggle to be shorting this. So let me look for bullish scenarios. Okay. So previously I spoke about if this level gives in, then we're probably going to go lower and maybe fill this in. It could still happen. You know what I mean? It could still happen. But if I'm not too clear, then it's just making me stay on the sidelines now with this. So I did short this pair. I spoke about this on my Twitter, and I had an entry. I entered it here yesterday here, and it came down. I thought okay, and then it pushed back up against me. I had a 6 pip stop on this, and I got trailed out. I got taken out on my trading stop around 72.37. So come London Open, we had a move up here, took out these stops, and then breakdown, took out these lows. So I thought okay, the highs in. I put my stop loss just there. Market pushed up. I got taken out on my spread really. Yeah, so I banked decent on there. It did fall further on, but it doesn't matter. So going further into the day, we had this low here. So if you got this low is 72.055. So 72.055. Okay, it's coming to this, and you know this is like a key level. You know, I mean this level had a rally of 140 odd ticks. Okay, right now I don't know because of what's happening in the dollar. If the dollar was still strong or at least consolidating, I would say this is going lower. But because it's not, and it's showing me it wants to go lower, then I'm gonna struggle to short the Kiwi dollar. Okay, so it's coming to a key high time frame level. It's taking that level out. So for it to prove to me, okay, if this is a possible bottom, I want to see this hold, right? I want to see this candle hold. I want to see bullish price action. If this shows me bullish price action, then okay, then maybe later on I'll long it. As it stands, there's better pairs to take. Another reason why I was short this, I forgot to mention this in my review video last time, was because of Aussie New Zealand. I posted the chart on Twitter where it was down here at the time, and I said I prefer Kiwi shorts because of Aussie New Zealand. It's taken out these highs here. So from where I called it from, it's up 130, 140 ticks. So it's taking out the stops here. The way it's looking to me, could push higher. I don't really trade this pair. I just look at it to see, do I want to take Aussie or do I want to take Kiwi? So that's that done for me now. So like I said, I'm not too clear on the Kiwi right at this moment. I am not too clear. I think a lot of people are trying to short this. I was one of them, but because of things change, even in a day, you know, I can change my view. I'm on the sidelines for now. Let it show me more clarity. You know, let it build up price action. If it's gonna go up and dollar's gonna go in lower, then let it prove that to me. Then if it's bullish, then I know where it's gonna go. These highs and then let higher up. But this could still fall even with the dollar weakness. So we'll see. It's not much clear here. I also spoke about the Euro New Zealand. It was down here. Well, look what's happened there. Nice play. I didn't even trade this. I mean, I know I said I don't trade this much, but look at it now. Hindsight, there was even a setup for me. Hindsight, so I'm not gonna. Let's not even go there. Okay, fuck that. Euro Aussie, yep, it's came to this low today here. Now, these were really pushing for Euro strength today. This was like a warning sign. The way all these Euro crosses were moving up. At the time, Euro dollar hadn't moved that much. I've seen it happen before where all the crosses will move first, then the Euro will follow. It didn't. I think if I was focused today, I don't know, but I may have probably been more aware of this price action in the dollar, possibly seen something for the Euro. But because I didn't take it, I'm not gonna say, well, I could have done this, that, the other. If I'm not in it, it's not my trade. You know, anybody can mark out hundreds of charts and they could work out beautifully. But if you hadn't taken it, what the fuck is the point? You know, if you're a real trader, you'll take the fucking level. If you're confident in yourself. I'll admit, today my head was in the game. I marked out the levels, but I didn't take anything apart from that Kiwi. So that's that. Aussie dollar. I did try to short this and I got stopped out. I thought, okay, this is gonna go lower. If I maybe, like I said, if I was watching the dollar, I probably would not have taken this, but it is what it is. So Aussie dollar is looking interesting now. I said previously that if we broke back above the 76.20s, it's game on for bullish scenario again, because it shouldn't have got back above here. If I was correct, it shouldn't have got back above it, but it's getting back above there. So I think this is gonna go higher now. Now I spoke about all this candle here being, buying, unfolding. It's dipped back into those candles and it's buying here. So now it's proven to me wants to go higher, which is lining up with the dollar bias as well. So I'll be hunting longs on this. If we look on the weekly, right, I forgot to mention, see, we closed above the 50%. Last week's candle closed above. So if you ignore the wick, so I think now probably going to push higher, because we're on the daily basis we're above that. Now I'm going to mark out a few candles just to see how the flow is. So if we look previously, this, once we got below these lows here, this accumulation here, see this here, right? This is where they were accumulating longs in this box here. So what we do is we take that, the way I do it, and I just mark a line across it. It just makes it easier for me to see shit when I'm trading. So that, and I don't apologize for my language. If you don't like it, don't watch my video. So we got that there. Yep. See how I find support here? I'll be using the same pattern here. So ideally we've got this here, right? So this could be all accumulation here, right? Ideally I actually prefer this because we've got this low here, so I'm going to mark it from here, right? I prefer this. Yes, I'm picking and choosing. And what? Okay, this accumulation here. Now we've taken off a retest into that, right? We've also got this here, so if you mark out this resistance, boom, it's finding support here. Ideally I'd like a deeper retracement down. I don't want it to clear this box here. If it breaks this box here, this low, then back to shorts again for me, and then I'll be playing it for these lows here. As it stands, I want to see price, build up here, and then I think we're gonna fill in all this void here left in, and then probably gonna take out these highs here. Okay, so as it stands, I'm bullish the Aussie dollar, bullish the euro. Cable, like I explained to you, Kiwi is, I think they're either gonna hold it or drop it lower, but Kiwis, I don't want a long Kiwi just yet. It's not very clear. So how do I get on board this? Well, so if we look at the flow, so if I mark out this here, if I go across, we come into that. Okay, this is the accumulation, retest of it, pushed up, showed the buys have stepped in now. If we look, these two candle, if we look here, so we had buying unfold here of this, then we had buying unfold off of these two candles here. If I'm correct, we shouldn't take out this low here. I would like price to drop into here. Let me get rid of all this shit. This should not give in. If I'm correct, this should not give in now. We've had efficient movement up as well. It's not as if we left gaps. Dip back down into here, right? I would like, and then boom. Okay, that's what I'll be looking for. If we get below this low here, then I think we're gonna take out this low, then this low. So as it stands, I want to get on long like this. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. That's that covered. Dollar Swiss as well. Dollar Swiss. I'm just looking at this just to see where the technicals are lying for euro dollar. So sometimes dollar Swiss will be clearer technically than euro. So if that tops out, then usually euro's probably bottomed out. So 907. Let's mark out the open. 907. Oh, let me spark over 5. Okay. Got that there. So it's run up into the body of the candle. I thought we were going to go higher, take out this, but by what dollar's been doing, we haven't done that yet. Retracement wise, I mean in an ideal world this would be nice here. up and then down. Okay, as it stands, I'll be waiting for the same scenario. So if euro comes into the level I've marked out, then if you showed me bullish PA, then I'll know where dollar Swiss is at the time. I can work from there. Once one of the majors gets into the key support and resistance for me, when I'm looking to buy, they can automatically go to all the other majors, and there's a high probability that they probably, if they're going to sync together, then there's a high probability that they'll probably have near a key level anyway. So that's how I filter out my support and resistances. I don't know if that's, you know, yeah, that's how I do shit. So going forward, I mean, on the daily chart, we still have these clean lows here to take out. I think a lot of stops resting below market here. We're gonna smash through them. So overall, we're still bearish this, but let's see. That goes lower. Dollar yen here. Okay, this is interesting as well. I think we could have. I know I've been fucking saying top here, top there. This son of a bitch has been a tricky one. So maybe this time, I don't know, but let's see how it goes. I just haven't traded this pair a lot lately, so it hasn't given me much, but maybe this week could change. So this is the high we've just taken out, right? We've taken out that high. Now going to the daily, right? So previously it came into this here and sold off, but there's a daily block here as well. So if I mark out the low here, right? So the low is 477. 477. We hadn't touched that previously, right? But we have touched it now. Okay, so I think this is good chance this is the highs in. How do I want to get on board? Well, for me, if this is the top, then I believe we got massive downside for dollar yen. Okay. I believe we're going to come into this box here if it's the top, right? Because I'm not expecting a small downside on the dollar. I'm expecting big, and this is the one that's been bucking the trend. So if this is the top, there'll be many opportunities to get on board this, unless it's one of these moves like this where it just goes in one go. Then obviously can't do shit about that, but we'll see. So assuming that's the top, then where do I want to get on board? I want to get on board where there's previous buying to take out the stops. So ideally coming to here, right? See. So let's see if you can come into here, it would be even better. This block here. But these two are two bullish candles. Okay, so minimum here, right? Minimum there. I'll see where we get the breakdown. We got that candle there, that candle there. So if we can start getting the breakdown here tomorrow, and at the same time we got euro coming into the support level, then I'll start looking, hunting possible dollar yen shorts. Going deeper, I mean, there's a few bearish candles here, so we'll see here. Anyway, into here, I'll be hunting. It could even push up into there because this was the final push that took out the stop. So two levels I'm going to mark out. We've got this here. There's a block here. There's quite a bit of confluence here. Push up into there. If it shows me weakness into this level here, then I'll look to short, like I said, explained before. If it doesn't, and I'll let it go, then I believe it's gonna go higher. Then we could come into this candle here, because this bearish candle led to the move up to take out these stops, then the sell-off. So I'll see if you get weakness here. If it comes up into there, then I think it's gonna want to fill all this in. I don't want to see this give in. If this gives in, then I'm on the sideline again until something else clear shows up. Okay, so I've marked out, I've given reasons. So the main thing to take from this is reasons for why there is a possible top in the dollar yen. We're using the dollar index, and we're bringing in all the other price action in the majors, and this has just taken out some big stops here. So into that daily block I mentioned that hadn't been tested before, and it has been tested today. So, and look at the bearish candle, close nicely bearish. So we'll see how this unfolds. Ideally I want to push up into here, and then boom. So I think big stops are going to be resting here below these lows here. So this was the accumulation for the move up. So if we take out this stops here, so this will be loads of opportunities. If we miss that, then I'll be looking for something like this. Say we got that. I know it's longer term picture now, but like this, and then I retest into that, and then I move down. Okay, so there's many ways to play this. You know, I'm not bothered if I've missed the high. This could be the high. It could start rolling over from now. It does not bother me. That's fine. What I'm looking for is confirmation the top is in or the low is in. Then I often get better risk to reward plays playing in the middle of a move. You know, I often get, because then I can trade with confidence then. Whereas if I'm trying to pick the top, I often get stopped out a few times before I actually nail it. So we'll see how this unfolds. I'd like a push up, like I said. If we don't get it, we don't fucking get it. Who cares? But if we do get it, then happy days. So, you know, it's a brief one. I didn't go into too much detail. Tomorrow it'll be clearer. After tomorrow's price action, I think it'll be clearer. I will see what happens then. Okay. So till then, good luck, ledges.